Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket. And top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Lincoln's Coffee Week is now Coffee Month in February. With 25 participating venues, visit and check into at least 10 for a chance to win a $250 gift card to the venue of your choice. More details at lincoln.org/coffee-month, brought to you by Visit Lincoln.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes the complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome in, everybody. 11 o'clock, past 11 o'clock here in the capital city of Lincoln, Nebraska. How's everybody doing? Everybody staying safe? It is something outside, you know. I talked on Monday about fall spring a little bit, about how everybody was wearing shorts, walking around, as you can see out here in glorious Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's take a look real quick. Let's just do a little weather report here at 11 o'clock at night. As you look outside of the 93.7 Ticket Studio, some cars still on the road. It's a little slick. There is some snow. I don't know how much snow. I am not a meteorologist, not even close. I don't know much about weather. But as you can see, there is snow on the ground. You wish if you could have seen it on Monday. We were as record highs of 70 degrees ish during that. But right now it is Snowmageddon or whatever you want to call it. It is cold. The drives, take it slow. If you are listening, take it slow wherever your destination is. Travel safely. We've gotten lucky. There hasn't been a whole lot of snow, but we need the moisture. Nice to see. So far, I haven't seen a lot of crashes around here, but if there have been, take it slow, take it steady. Slow and steady wins the race is the saying it is. But that is enough with the weather. But if you are stuck inside, can't sleep on a cold, chilly evening in the area, I got you. I got you for another hour. And let's talk some sports. Join the conversation if you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or on Allo Channel 961. Join the conversation. Sauter Heyman Jewelers text line 402-464-5685. Or if you're watching on any of those platforms, you can comment as well, and I will for sure read them. Let's have a chat. We can talk. There's plenty to talk about in sports. A lot has happened today. Not only tonight, but a lot happening today. But other than other countries, I wanted to start off talking a little about the Olympics today. There's only a few more days left. We just wrapped up I don't know how many days we've been through. There's only 3 more full days left of Olympic competition, Friday, Saturday, Sunday being the last day. And that will wrap up with the closing ceremonies around 2:00 Central Time, as that is in Milan for the last couple of weeks. USA women's hockey played Canada today for the gold medal of the 2026 Winter Olympics down there. In the United States, they played Canada in preliminary round. Let's flash back to the beginning of the tournament. The United States went undefeated in preliminary play, which included a win in group play, preliminary play, whatever you want to call it. The United States picked up a 5-0 win over Canada to keep undefeated. Canada had never lost that badly in a women's Olympic hockey game ever. And the Olympics have been going on for a long time. Women's hockey's been in the Olympics for a long time too. And USA beat them 5-0 in preliminary round. Well, both teams advanced to the knockout stage just due to how the bracket works. They were in Group A, which all 5 teams advanced, and then the other top 3 from Group B advanced, seeded them out. Canada's on one side, United States on the other. Who would have thunk it? Both teams move on to the gold medal match, win their semifinal matches. United States, Canada on a Friday. Gold medal on the line. Couldn't have asked for a better matchup between these two countries in women's hockey. The United States has been dominant throughout. They have dominated basically the entire tournament. They come in and they gave up a goal early to Canada. It was 0-0 after the first period, and then Canada grabs the lead. United States has to come from behind. Hillary Knight, her final Olympics scores. Reed Rexhoff, Lila Edwards shot, sending it to a tie. And it gave the United States life. At that point, Canada was just fully in control. Ties up 1-1. Third period, remains tied, goes to overtime. Next goal wins situation here in this overtime period. United States trying to survive after a dominant tournament throughout. Losing to Canada would have just been a very deflating ending to a solid performance over the last 2 weeks. Well, the United States got that call. Megan Keller scores the goal. If you haven't seen the clip now, I don't know how many people are the biggest hockey fans, but it is a sick goal. Goes down, gets a little breakaway, a little back and forth, shoots it in the net, score. And the call is electric on the NBC Sports broadcast they had. And the United States, the crowd goes nuts. The United States picks up a 2-1 victory in overtime over Canada to grab the gold. United States walks away with the gold medal in that one. It was an awesome game. Like I was able to catch the end of it. I was here on Bach and the Black Shirt filling in for Jake Bakoven, who was out sick today, was with Terrell Farley. And we talked about at the beginning of the show, like how it's been a very historic Olympics for the United States hockey, not just the women, but also the men in general. NHL players are back. They beat Sweden. The men beat Sweden. In another overtime game, Quinn Hughes the other night was a hero to send the United States into the semifinals. They'll play Slovakia in just a couple of hours tomorrow. You have nothing going on. You're snowed in. Watch some United States hockey. It's really fun. Like, you don't have to be the biggest hockey fan. You don't have to watch the NHL to enjoy it. It's simple. Cheer for your country, and you get to see the best of the professionals go at it. But this United States women's hockey team was historic run. They only conceded 1 goal throughout preliminary play, dominated throughout, beat Italy in the knockout stage, and the United States goes for gold, golden goal. Megan Keller wins it for the United States. So that capped off the tournament for the women's side of the bracket for hockey in the 2026 Olympic Games. But the men's, like I said, the men will play Slovakia. Other side, Canada is playing Finland. The winners of those ones will play for gold on Sunday morning. And potentially a Canada versus USA matchup in men's hockey. The funny thing is that there is a bronze medal game, which is third place, obviously, which will be played on Saturday. What if Canada and USA lose? Then they will play for third place while Slovakia and Finland would play for first. Would the United States, I mean, it'd be probably the most watched third place match, third bronze medal match ever if that happened. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Hockey is if you ever watch the NHL playoffs, hockey is a very fun. The Stanley Cup playoffs are fun because you can be like a lower seed and somehow find a way to win. There are teams in hockey who have had weird regular seasons where they're not dominant, but they find ways to win, score goals, win overtime games, those marathon games, which are really fun to watch in hockey, and come away with wins. But yes, that is all I have for hockey today. We talked about the dog that ran on the cross-country skiing yesterday. We talked about that. We had the image on the screen. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. If you are a dog lover, you will love it. It was a dog of a resident nearby. They returned him. The officials returned him. The Olympics have been something else. There's been a lot of great moments, a lot of really cool performances. But hey, a dog, everybody loves dogs. If you don't, I don't know what to say. But that was a fun moment. The USA Hockey tomorrow, they play Slovakia. But that's all I got for the Olympics for that segment. So the rest of this first segment, I wanted to talk a little bit about Nebraska women's basketball. If you joined me earlier on YouTube, we streamed about a half hour about Nebraska women's basketball. We talked about their game against Oregon and just what transpired in Eugene. If you have any comments about Nebraska women's basketball and just kind of, if you watched the game tonight or were able to chime in on the postgame show about an hour ago, we can keep the conversation going. 402-464-5685. Nebraska falling in an 80-76 game to the Ducks in Eugene. Nebraska making the trip to the Pacific Northwest for the first time this season. Nebraska falling once again by 4 points. Nebraska is now 16-11 on the season, 5-11 in Big 12. Whoa. I cannot say that. Big 10 play as they played the Ducks in a losing effort. A frustrating game for Nebraska because Nebraska had a 12-point lead down the stretch. And 65-55 with about 6 minutes to play. And then Oregon takes complete control, flips the script on Nebraska down the stretch, and Oregon picks up a 80-76 win over those. Nebraska was limited to only a handful of field goals made when a 5-minute drought, didn't score, as Oregon collects their 19th win on the season. The Ducks improved to 19-9, 7-8 in Big Ten play. Nebraska is 16-11, 5-11 in Big Ten play. And it was just a frustrating game because if you look at the game had multiple sequences, multiple segments, multiple stories through it. You go back to the first quarter, Nebraska and Oregon were tied 20-20. Shot for shot. I mean, Oregon was shooting 50%, 7 of 14. Nebraska was 8 of 11. Logan Nistley didn't miss in that first quarter. She had 7 of 15, during that first quarter. And it looked like, hey, this is going to be a shootout in Oregon. This is going to be a high-scoring game. Nebraska and Oregon can't miss. Both teams are shooting. Both teams are hitting shots, going shot for shot. Hey, if you're an offensive basketball fan, this was the game for you for that first quarter. Nebraska was able to push their lead to double digits. Along with this, Maya Jacobs, one of Oregon's top scorers, she's second on the team in scoring, went down to an injury, and she left and did not return until the second half in the third quarter. But Nebraska took advantage of that. Nebraska went up 37-33 at half. Remind you, I told you, Nebraska was up 11 points, but Oregon used a 7-0 run to close the half to trickle that down to 37-33. And that's very important as the game progresses. Nebraska had a double-digit lead early or late in the second half, actually. And then Oregon put together that 7-0 run to kind of close the gap and gather themselves and regroup as a team before the end of the first half came. So Nebraska at that point, Britt Prince had 8. They had 8 different scores. So Nebraska was, they were in control. They're up 4 points. Had a halftime lead. Get back, regroup. 7-0 run doesn't hurt. You got to lead. Nebraska took control again, outscoring the Ducks 24-19 in the third. And Nebraska closed that quarter with some momentum because of a steal. Britt Prince gets it with under 10 seconds to go, makes a jumper, buzzer beater. Nebraska goes up 61-52. In the 24-19, outscoring the Ducks in that quarter. So up by 9 again. You're starting to grab some momentum. Logan Nisley at 13, 3 of 6 from the floor, from beyond the three-point line, And they were able to hit double figures with Logan Nisley, Britt Prince, and Petra Bozon. So Nebraska, at this point, with around 6 minutes left, led 65-55. Also led by 12 at this point, too. So you're up by 12, about the halfway point, closing into the halfway point of the fourth quarter. Nebraska has complete control. Has a chance to pick up a quality win where they need one. They need one because the regular season is winding down. We'll get into that, the rest of the regular season. They needed a win. They have lost to so many ranked teams. You go down the schedule, and you're trying to look as a resume with the Big Ten women's basketball tournament approaching. Not only that, but also the NCAA tournament. Nebraska's quality wins are starting to shrink because if you look at it, you're 0-0 against top 25 teams. And you've lost to teams like Wisconsin and Minnesota. And were those losses bad? Like, you lost a close one to Michigan State. You lose to a close one to Wisconsin. You hang with Michigan and Ohio State for a handful of minutes. Maryland, 18-point loss at home. There's still losses, and that's what's going to count. And the committee will look at it and say, are they one of the 68 teams that belongs? And that'll be a question. And this game could be a costly one to that if the committee looks at that. The NCAA Women's Basketball Committee, the NCAA tournament looks at this one. So like I said, Nebraska led by 10 and 12 points in the fourth quarter. Oregon puts together a 13-2 run to get back in the game, claw back into the game, and Oregon takes the lead down the stretch with under 3 minutes to play. Just like that. Snap of a finger, right back in the game. Ducks lead by 1. Nebraska went on a 5-minute drought. Only 2 field goals made in the fourth quarter at that point, and that led to the Ducks regaining the lead down the stretch and holding Nebraska to only 15 points in that fourth period. Nebraska had chances, cut it to 2, had to foul. Oregon makes 2 free throws, 80-76. Had a chance to maybe make it a 1-score game, maybe get one more shot left in them if Oregon misses a free throw, but Oregon made them both. Petrie gets a good look, doesn't make it off the 23-foot jump shot. Foul, Oregon puts the shots back in, puts some free throws back in. Oregon wins on their home court. Oregon's a team as well. Oregon's a solid team. Kelly Graves has coached there for a long time, veteran coach for the Ducks. Oregon has put out, Sabrina Wansku was there not very long ago, and that is what kind of put together Oregon basketball on the map. That team still didn't get a shot at the NCAA tournament because COVID happened. But Sabrina Wansku was the face of Oregon basketball. Still is a face of Oregon athletics in general, as she's playing with the New York Liberty in the WNBA. So Nebraska suffers its 6th consecutive loss on the season. Continues to kind of tread water in the Big Ten. And you look at the last couple of games. They lost to UCLA, Michigan State, Wisconsin, got back on the win column against Illinois and Northwestern, but since then, Ohio State, Michigan, Maryland, Minnesota, Iowa, Oregon. All in a row. Down the stretch of the regular season as March is progressing. Lost all of those games. And also you had the UCLA, Michigan State, and Wisconsin loss in there. They have now lost 9 of their last 11 ball games as March is quickly approaching because the men's tournament, you still have another couple more weeks. Nebraska women's basketball, they're staying in the Pacific Northwest. They'll play Washington on Sunday at 2:00 on the Big Ten Network. Washington's a very similar team to Oregon. They're sitting around that 7, 8, 9 range right now. Washington has been ranked at times. They are 19-8, 9-7. They lost to UCLA tonight, which a lot of teams have lost to UCLA in women's basketball. Let's be honest here. UCLA is pretty good. UCLA number 2 in the nation. Arguably going to be a favorite come bracket season. So Nebraska will get Washington, who's coming off a loss. Let's dive into Washington's schedule. Washington, like I said, 19-8, 9-7 in Big Ten play. They are sitting at 9th in the conference. They beat Oregon the other night. They beat them 51-43 in a low-scoring affair. They also have lost a handful of games recently. They beat Wisconsin, but then they've lost 4 of their last 6 games. They've lost to Illinois, Ohio State, Iowa, and then tonight against UCLA. And during that span, they've beaten Wisconsin and Oregon. But they have played teams Nebraska's played so far. They beat Michigan way back early in the year. Michigan beat them 64-52. They dropped a close one to USC, 59-50. So this is a Washington team who is going to no slouch. They're a solid program. They are a solid team. They are a very solid team. Savia Sellers is their leading scorer, 19 points per game, shooting close to 50% from the floor on the scene, 49.6 point field goal percentage. So averaging 19.3 a game. So they're going to have their hands full with the Huskies on Sunday and need a win. This is, I wouldn't say the last opportunity because we'll get into what Nebraska is going to need to do to get back in the win column and get some resume builders down the stretch. But this is the last in regular season play because after this game against the Huskies, they'll return home on February 28th, and they will play Rutgers, who is at the bottom of the barrel in the Big Ten Women's Basketball Conference. They only have one conference win this year. And that's the final home game. You'll get that game. And then the calendar flips, and the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament is right there. And Nebraska right now, they are looking like they're going to be a double-digit seed in the Big Ten Women's Basketball Tournament. And they're going to need to not only win a couple games to get into the quarterfinals, maybe the second round and whatnot, but those teams that are going to be playing in the first round are going to be not very quality wins, but they're going to be wins. They're going to need to beat a team probably that's ranked top 5 in the conference to get some tournament. I don't know. This game tonight was very costly. I'm very curious where they sit come bracket time because right now 16-11 doesn't jump off the page really well, especially when you're on a losing skid in the Big Ten Conference down the stretch and you haven't been able to get over that hump, especially against a team like Michigan State, Wisconsin, which were winnable games. Iowa, they hung around for a bit. Minnesota, they had to try to dig themselves out of a hole, but they couldn't finish. Maryland's kind of the same way. Had one bad quarter and get away. This game was kind of the same, but this one, the bad quarter came at the end of the game, which Oregon was able to exploit and get the win. So Nebraska 16-11. The NCAA tournament aspirations are slipping away quickly. They are treading water. I mean, look at their wins this year. I mean, what is their best win on the season? Creighton's hovering around there. They beat Virginia back in a neutral site game. The committee's gonna have a tough time because if Nebraska can somehow squeak out some wins in Big Ten women's tournament play and beat like an Iowa or a Minnesota right now, or an Ohio State or a Michigan State or a Maryland, one of those teams, depending how the bracket shakes out, Nebraska could finally get that win. Could get to 20 and 11, 20 and 12 or something like that. And probably enough to get you in. You just want to avoid that play-in game because they do the play-in game like the men's tournament. They started that a couple years ago. Want to avoid being like a 10 seed or an 11 or potentially being an 8 or 9 because if you win, like a couple weeks ago, Nebraska was projected to play Iowa State in an 8-9 matchup or Notre Dame, who's another good team. But then if you get past that game in the tournament, you'd get a chance at the best in the 8. You get a crack at UConn or a UCLA or a South Carolina. I don't know if Nebraska is in that conversation now because you've lost so many close games, but you just have never been able to put it all together. And there's ranked wins. You offer against teams who are ranked this year. This Oregon team probably could have been ranked. Solid program. Another, solid loss, but it's a loss. And especially if you're going into the end of the regular season on a losing skid, it doesn't look great on your resume. So they'll turn the corner. They will play Washington on Sunday. Not only along with that, the men's, so we flip over the men's real quick before we get out of this segment and we take a break here on 90.7 The Ticket. The men play Saturday against Penn State. We'll have post-game coverage in the afternoon here. Right here, I'll be here. Austin Norman will probably chime in from Pinnacle Bank Arena, and we'll have post-game coverage of that as well. So with this, Nebraska women's basketball, 16-11 in the year, an 80-76 loss to the Oregon Ducks. Gonna have to find a win, and Sunday will be it's probably a must-win now, just due to what the resume says. So when we come back, we'll dive into what's coming up for Nebraska baseball, Nebraska softball, and Nebraska wrestling. Don't forget about wrestling. They're down in Utah to close out regular season play. Kind of a rare end of the regular season, not ending with a conference duel. They finished that up this past weekend with Illinois and Indiana, picking up wins there against ranked teams. They'll wrap up regular season play with their final duel, and then they will head into one of the bigger events that people have been looking forward to in the Big Ten Wrestling Tournament out in College Park, Pennsylvania, the home of the Penn State Knit Lions. So there's some weekend ahead for those three programs. Some other programs we'll touch on in the last segment before we sign you off for tonight on this cold evening. Not many cars on the road tonight, folks. If you're sitting around, can't sleep, want to cozy up by the campfire and listen to Late Night in Lincoln with myself, 402-464-5685. And no better way to end the evening, right? No better way to evening. So we'll be back. Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Oh, honey, I love the first few months of a new year.
Why?
I get a chance to shovel.
You hate to shovel.
Not snow, cash. The Nebraska Lottery's Cash Blast promotion is back. Buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. And if your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled.
Great. It snowed last night. Here's a shovel.
But
consider it practice.
2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. head to lovbneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
Gentlemen, are you ready for something beyond the ordinary haircut? At Scissors and Scotch Lincoln, they blend your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. Sink into a comfy chair, unwind with a complimentary drink, and let their master barbers handle the rest. It's not just grooming, it's an experience. Whether you're prepping for a big meeting, needing to get cleaned up before family comes to town, or just need a little time to yourself, Scissors and Scotch Lincoln delivers sharp style every time. Book now at Scissors and Scotch in Lincoln, just south of 30th and Yankee Hill Road.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between, we'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman here on this cold, snowy Thursday evening. But we just got done talking about Nebraska women's basketball wrapping up a loss out in Oregon, falling for the sixth consecutive time, and the USA women's hockey team pulling up a win to win gold out in the Winter Olympics, beating Canada in overtime in a great match. Great game. So moving on, Nebraska, there's no shortage of Nebraska sports going on right now. No shortage. There is plenty to go on, especially tomorrow. There is a lot going on, not only in baseball, softball, and wrestling, but bowling will be here tomorrow, Hollywood Bowl. We'll chat about that before we get out of here tonight. But I want to focus on those first three, baseball, softball, and wrestling, in action as baseball is playing at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas, where the home of the Texas Rangers. They just wrapped up their first weekend with a 3-1 record out in Arizona, beating UConn, Northeastern, and Grand Canyon, and then dropping on Monday recently to Stanford. So Nebraska baseball, Nick Sainert will be down in Arlington. He already is in Arlington. If you see on social media, please check out our social media. So Nick Sainert will have some great content, some great photos, some great videos and whatnot from down there in Arlington, Texas. He will be on the ground. He is there right now. I was able to watch some batting practice. I saw some videos out at the home of the Texas Rangers. So Nebraska baseball in action tomorrow, 3:00 first pitch against number 15 Louisville. So not only did Nebraska start the year with a 3-1 record, beating team in the Big East team like UConn is really good, Northeastern, who's been thrown aside in the regionals from time to time, and then played a really good team in Stanford. Grand Canyon has been a tough out. Nebraska will get a crack at 2 ranked teams, top 20 teams, in a Big 12 foe, old Big 12 foe, I should say, in the next 3 days. Nebraska will start off the weekend in Arlington on tomorrow, 3 o'clock against Louisville. Louisville, number 15 in the nation. That is going to be a tough one because at Louisville baseball, they've hosted regionals. They've made the trip to Omaha several times. Have a lot of MLB talent come out of that program. Nebraska will get a crack at them tomorrow. Saturday, 7 o'clock prime time out in Arlington. They play the Kansas State Wildcats. They play them usually in non-conference play over the years. So instead of playing in Manhattan or Lincoln, they're going to be meeting up in Arlington. Nice little neutral site for those two down in Texas. And then to cap it off Sunday, they will play at 2:30 against number 16, Florida State. So they have a nice little competitive schedule. In the beginning of the year, it's a very early season. Louisville, Nebraska, they've only played 6 times in their history. Nebraska holds a 4-2 advantage in that over Louisville in the all-time series. It is crazy because you think like Louisville would match up with Nebraska at some point. This is the first meeting they've played each other since 1998. Guys like myself were less than a year old, or not even born yet. They split those 2 games then, while Nebraska took 3 of the 4 games against the Cardinals in 1995. So it's been a while since Nebraska and Louisville have played on the diamond. So that'll be a fun one. Kansas State and Nebraska, they played last year. They played a 3-game series. The Wildcats got the best of Nebraska in 2 of those 3 between the 2 former Big 12 foes. And they've met, they're countless times. You can count it back to the Big 12 days. That's when they used to play. But K-State got the last laugh last year when both programs met. And then Nebraska will close out with Florida State. Another team Nebraska hasn't really seen. They've only played 1 time before this. Only once. Nebraska and Florida State. You'd think, like, when Nebraska was the height of their program in the 2000s, you would have thought maybe they would have faced off against one another. So I have it. The last time Nebraska, does anybody, if you're watching, does anybody remember the last time Nebraska played Florida State in baseball? Join the conversation as always. 402-464-5685. If you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Outlet Channel 961, leave a comment. But I will give you this little history lesson here. The last time Nebraska baseball played Florida State, Nebraska lost on the end of a 5-3 close ball game. If you remember that tournament, this is not a tournament anymore, but they played in the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the Dairy Queen Classic in 2004. One of those early season baseball games. So they played at the home of the Twins at the time. They played the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the Dairy Queen Classic. What a name for a tournament! Dairy Queen Classic sounds like something you could get off the menu there. It's interesting. That it's crazy that those programs, Power 4 programs, ACC, Big 12/Big 10 for several years, they never met. So, but Nebraska did start the year 3-0. First time since 2005. Now they're going to face some really good quality competition out there in Glow Life Field. Like I said again, Nick Stainer will be down there in Arlington catching that. But then after that, they got Auburn. They'll play Auburn in a 3-game set on the 27th, 28th, and March 1st. So, and the home opener is not too far away. Tuesday, March 3rd, 1:30 at Hawks Field at Haymarket Park against the Omaha Mavericks. It'll sneak up quick. Those midweek games are coming up quick. Hopefully the weather's a bit, because I don't know, looking at the outside right now, I don't know if you'd be able to play a baseball game in this kind of environment. Maybe they could shovel off the field. I'm not too sure. But like I said, if you're driving out right now, take it nice and slow. I know there's not many. It's not too busy on the road. There's a couple of cars going by right now, but I would take it nice and slow. Some slick spots. We haven't had this much snow in quite some time, it feels like. As we've had a pretty easy winter. But a team that is heating up probably can melt us down. Nebraska softball. Nebraska softball has wins over Texas Tech and Texas, Washington so far this season. And they keep going. They're going to be going to West. They started the year in San Antonio at the UTSA Invite. Made the trip east to Clearwater for the Shriners Children's Invitational in Florida. Now they head west in California. Nebraska is number 10 They're playing Cathedral City, California in the Mary Nutter Collegiate Classic from February 20th to the 22nd. Nebraska will play 5 games in 3 days, including 2 games against ranked opponents, with that being number 13, South Carolina, and number 11, Texas A&M. So as mentioned, Nebraska number 10 in the NFCA coaches poll, and then the softball America Ball, and they were number 6 in the USA softball and D1 softball ranks. Nebraska top 10, 6-4, quality losses. However, you have wins over teams who are ranked number 1 past the past 2 weeks to begin the season. Nebraska beat them both. Beat Texas Tech in Clearwater. Beat Texas after a loss to them in UTSA at San Antonio. Alexa Jensen was named co-freshman of the week. She claimed a victory in the circle in that win over Texas Tech, and Jessie Farrell hit a 2-run home run to launch Nebraska's offense. She has been the UNLV transfer to Nebraska, has been a huge asset for this offense and defense behind the plate as the catcher. Not only did they beat Texas Tech, they beat number 12 LSU, shut them out, and they shut out Central Florida, who's no slouch in the Big 12 Conference. But Nebraska did suffer losses to number 20 Georgia by 1 run, and then dropped to Tennessee, who is really good. Tennessee's got one of the best pitchers in the nation, throws a wild fastball, and they're a tough out. So Nebraska will be playing those games in California, starting off tomorrow against South Carolina. That game starts at noon. So look at that. You get a really nice day matinee. Okay, so not only this, but spring training baseball. There's some baseball games tomorrow. Crazy thing about it, snow here, but if you go down to Phoenix, the Royals, Kansas City Royals are in action tomorrow. First spring training game. Baseball's back for Major League Baseball. You have that game. You have at noon Central Time. You have Nebraska, number 10 Nebraska versus number 13 South Carolina, a top 15 matchup in California. And then later on that afternoon, you got Nebraska, Louisville in baseball. What a Friday lineup right there. So not only that, Nebraska softball, they'll play that game in South Carolina, and then literally right after that at 2:30, around 2:30 Central. I will say that because these tournaments, you know how baseball and softball tournaments work. Games go long. It happens. 2:30, Nebraska will play Hawaii at 2:30, and then Saturday, the Saturday slate, they'll only play 1. They'll play Texas A&M, number 11. So Nebraska, another test right there, right out of the gate. And then Nebraska, the softball team closes out the weekend with an 11 a.m. Central on Sunday against Seattle, and then Sunday at 1:30 against Cal. So you get the West Coast teams at the end. You get 2 ranked teams, and you get Hawaii. So pretty fun schedule. Nebraska softball is battle-tested early, even before Big Ten play will kick into high gear. I think that was when the schedule dropped, that is what we see. And they also have Oklahoma State 3 times actually, before conference play begins too. So there's a lot going on across the next 2 weeks for Nebraska softball, because they will be playing in Stillwater on Thursday, February 26th. Then they could play neutral site against in Tulsa. They'll play South Dakota State and Tulsa, and then they'll play Oklahoma State 2 more times before the softball home opener becomes on March 5th at 4 o'clock in South Dakota State. Again, snowing here a couple weeks from now. Maybe we're blessed with a 50, 60 degrees. I will say 50 because it's Nebraska. Usually those first couple home openers are freezing cold. But just hopefully there's no snow on the ground, because I hate seeing those first couple games get snowed out, rained out, or whatnot, colded out, or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like that happens every year with softball and baseball. So those are the 2 on the diamond, what's going on over there. And if you want to talk about a little bit more about Husker softball and Husker baseball, Husker Diamond Report will be at a special start time around 1 o'clock on Saturday. I will be here. Tristan Gomez may stream in. He is out right now, but that'll be on Saturday. I will be here, right here in this chair, and we can talk about more Husker baseball and Husker softball after those games transpire tomorrow, and we can recap the road ahead on Saturday as those teams play as well. 1 o'clock on Husker Diamond Report here at the Ticket. A lot of other things going on Saturday too, so make sure you stay tuned and listen to us across the airwaves. There is plenty of content throughout the next couple of days. And another Nebraska sporting event I wanted to talk about, Nebraska wrestling, got back in the win column after a couple tough losses to Iowa, Penn State, and Ohio State. Really good wrestling programs. Got back in the win column against Northwestern on February 8th in their final home game, shutting them out 47-0. Went on the road this past weekend, February 13th, with a 28-11 win over Illinois, who's a top 15 team. And Sunday, February 15th, followed it up 2 days later with a 34-5 win over 20 Indiana. So beating two ranked teams, dominating, and picking up some Big Ten quality wins to close out Big Ten play before the big one comes. So Nebraska wrestling will close out regular season play in Utah as they take on Utah Valley on Saturday, February 21st, 8 o'clock start time, Central Time. Start time against Utah Valley. That'll be at the Lockhart Arena there in Orem, as that'll be the closeout regular season before Nebraska wrestling turns their attention March 7th to the Big Ten Wrestling Championships. That'll be starting at 9 o'clock Central Time with session 1, session 2 at 4, and then Sunday capping it off with sessions 3 and 4 starting at 11 a.m. Central. So that should be a very fun tournament. You not only have Nebraska, but you'll have Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa. Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend there in College Park, Pennsylvania at the Bryce Jordan Center. That'll be a fun one. So a lot to go on. There's more. There's tennis starting tomorrow. Women's tennis is in action. There's so much going on in Huskerland over the next couple of days. I feel like I say this every week, but get out and go watch it. But we're going to take a break, and we're going to recap a couple more things that are going on across the board tonight. The NBA's back after their All-Star break. We'll go through some of the scores, and one more event that is going on just down the road at the bowling alley at Hollywood Bowl. We'll talk about that when we come back here on Late Night Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
A new year means it's time to try new things. If you haven't tried Führer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For the days you don't want to go to the gym, don't worry. Führer's cheese spread is there to cheer you up. And for the days you do get to the gym, why not celebrate when you get back with the best dip around? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Führer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table. MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out a brand new 2026 Ford Explorer for only $39,995. That's right, under $40,000 for a brand new Explorer, loaded with extras like Copilot 360, second row captain's chairs, and more. With approved credit, receive financing as low as 2.9%. Treat mom to a new Explorer for Valentine's Day this year from Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect. MSRP $45,175.
It's seafood season at Amigos. Time to get that one-of-a-kind, crisp crab rangoon burrito and dip it in some sweet chili sauce. There's a crab rangoon Frenchie, too. Enjoy grilled fish, grilled shrimp, or crispy fish tacos. Wrapped in warm whole wheat tortillas. Topped with pico de gallo, cabbage, and Amigos Chipotle mayo sauce. From jumbo shrimp baskets or fish and chips to fish tacos, there's something for everyone. You'll love the bold, fresh flavors of seafood at Amigos. Amigos is serving up a brand new way to score the bold, fresh flavors you love with 8 affordable value meals. At $5 and $6, these meals are easy on the wallet, so treat yourself anytime. Sink into the new 3-cheese melt or taco melt, both stacked with crave-worthy flavor in every bite. There's crunchy taquito dippers, too, perfect for dunking in Amigos' famous ranch or spicy cheese. Big flavor, small price. Value meals at Amigos.
Rick Heyman here from Starter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Starter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at starterheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Thank you all for watching on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Allo Channel 961 on this cold, snowy day in the capital city as we send you off almost into your Friday. A couple notes. The NBA's back after the All-Star break. The NBA wrapped up with a couple of games on the first day back from the All-Star break. The Pistons beating the Knicks. The Pistons 41-13, best record in not only that, the NBA best record so far. Cade Cunningham dropping 42 points, 8 boards, and 13 assists on the New York Knicks in MSG. So the Pistons, right now, I mean, the Pistons look really good. I mean, seeing them back, the last time they were, they were good last year, but the last time I remember them being like a top seed was like Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace and Rick Hamilton and guys like that. It's been a while since the Pistons have been up there. One more note from tonight: the Sacramento Kings are sitting at 12-45. They just shut down Domantas Sabonis and Zach LaVine for the season. So basically, their season's kind of pretty much over with at this point for the Kings. The Kings entering tonight, they had not lost 15 games in a row in their franchise history. Well, the Orlando Magic beat them 131-94 tonight. Paulo Banchero, 30 points for the Orlando Magic in that win for Orlando. But with this loss, this was the first time in franchise history the Sacramento Kings have lost 15 games in a row. So history has been made in Sacramento. I know they light the beam there. I know they're not lighting the beam for this. So that is quite the it's not a great thing to happen. Not at all. You don't want to lose 15 straight games, especially NBA. Allegedly, they're trying to make a rule where they're trying to get rid of tanking in some shape or form. I don't know how they'll do it. That is going to be a discussion as the season progresses, because tanking in sports shouldn't be a thing, because guys are making money. Guys want to win at all costs, and that shouldn't be dictated. So that is one thing. One more thing before we let you go tonight. I know last time we talked about the dog running on. The one thing I want to talk about is Nebraska bowling is at home this week. The one time they are at home all season. Nebraska bowling is at home at Hollywood Bowl tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is free. Go watch them. There are top 6 teams ranked in women's bowling in action there. Starting tomorrow, 9 o'clock is the first matches of the Big Red Bowling Invites. Nebraska will be there. Jack State, who is number 1 in college bowling, will be there. A lot of teams across Conference USA, which is what Nebraska competes in. This is their first year back in a conference, and they have had a really successful season. They're starting to find their stride, and they're going to be facing some of the best in college bowling. So that is tomorrow. Hollywood Bowl in Lincoln, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you can't make it out tomorrow due to the weather, you got Saturday and Sunday as well. So that is all I have for you tonight. Everybody have a great Friday. Safe travels if you're going anywhere, because it looks like the roads are still icy, snowed packed, whatever you want to call it. So everybody have a great night. Here from 927 Ticket. Early break, 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.